I don't want that shit.
You stay slaying.
Your boys stay slaying.
How are we starting this? Should we do like a job interview and then we just don't have Seth's part? Like, yeah, what do you think? Oh, that's so funny.
What
And
if
we're like, we didn't put the audio in, he's not here.
No, we've already done that.
We roast him. And then we do like a roast of Seth, and then we do the audio, and then it turns out we pretend we were so mean to him he left.
That's pretty good.
He's never coming back. Or at the end of our intro, we're like, no, wait, don't leave. We're kidding.
Or it's the roast of Santa Claus, but we're all on the dais. Or like, before we get to the big man, my man Seth. We just start fucking roast him.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Nothing like real, like actually about Seth. Just be like, piece of shit, fucking smelly, shit like that.
Piece of shit, you fucking smelly. That's perfect, yeah.
Follow that lead.
And I'll pretend to be the host of the roast. I'll pretend to be Kevin Hart.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Yell out like and live the comedy roast of Santa Claus with your host Kevin Hart or something in a TV voice, and then I'll be Kevin Hart, and I'll introduce you as our first roaster, and then I'll introduce me.
Okay, and
then Seth's gone.
No, wait, no. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. It's beautiful. All right, I am ready. You ready?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play.
And live from Toledo, it's Toledo on Fire with your host, Kevin Hart.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kevin Hart here, and we are doing the roast of our main man, Santa Claus.
Ooh.
I see a hoe there, I see a hoe there, I see a hoe there, but we got hoes up on this stage. Now it's going to be a long night today with Comedy Central. We got some of the best men on the dais, and that is a word I did not learn just today. Just today, okay? So, first off, everybody loves him. Everybody knows him as his radio persona, JoJo Candles. But today, we got our boy, Lucas Lawrence here. Let's hear it for Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. We're all here to take big swings at the fat guy, right? But first, we gotta talk about my man Seth, that big smelly guy. Get over here, you fucking piece of shit. This guy's giving chlamydia to every girl in Billings. Believe it or not, you ask them, they say they're virgins. You tell them to go get checked. They have it. They got it from Seth. You didn't even know. So he's the Billings area creeper. He's about that life. And he will kill you if he sees you. Yeah.
All right, that was pretty dark. It was short and it was dark. Anything to say about Santa?
Love the guy. I hope he gets better, man.
Me too, man. That pancreatic cancer came out of nowhere. I'm saying it came out of nowhere.
It did, man.
Alrighty then. I guess our next guest up is going to be, you know him. He's the host of the Good, the Bad, and the Movies podcast. We're introducing Brandon Snedeker. Hey guys, what's up? You know I'm a little drunk right now. I just smoked 6 blunts to get up on this stage, but
Nice.
that's what we got to do. It's chilly up in the North Pole. We got to stay hot down here. So, Santa, I'm going to get to you in a second. First, we're going to talk about Lucas here. Great man. Love that man. Great bit
Thank
here.
you.
And I just kind of have to add on to your stuff here. Seth, oh my God. Now, boo. Yeah, they say Santa's from the North Pole, right?
Yeah, they do.
Seth always rides the North Pole.
Oh no.
He can't get enough of it. And then he gives chlamydia again. That smelly piece of
to
shit. Come here, you
Santa.
idiot. Speaking of North, he lives on the North Side. Come on, move to the West End, buddy. Let's
Punk.
move up in the world.
Punk.
Seth, I do love you, but you need to pack on some weight if you're going to survive up there in the North Pole with Santa. Santa, I love you, man. You got more hoes than we know. Kick it back to you, Kevin.
Yeah.
And it appears Seth is leaving.
No, we were kidding.
Seth, no.
It's a roast.
Well, I guess Seth's gone. We're gonna kick it up to our next roaster, and that's gonna be Shaquille O'Neal. Woo!
What up, player?
What a smelly, dirty little bastard.
And he left.
And he's gone.
That's forever.
That's what we're doing. Seth's gone, guys.
We fired him.
He messaged us and he said, "Hey, can't be on the podcast. Got to take a little break."
For the mentals.
He said nothing was wrong. He said he was cooling, but that means something's wrong.
Yeah.
Hopefully
he's back soon.
He does say he'll be back by the end of the new year, so that's when the bracket is.
That'd be chill.
But that's not about this. This is the holiday hosts.
And then there were 2
hosts from the holidays. But we've got a lot to unpack today. We've got a hell of a movie.
We do. And hopefully in the future, once Seth's brief absence, we can line up some guests as well, because we know you hate us.
I hate you? Seth hates us?
No, the audience hates us.
The audience hates us. Yeah, they mostly just love Robert.
Yeah, me included.
I listened back to Uncle Boon Me. What a
good
great episode.
That's fire.
That man's a genius.
Sparks coming out of our fingertips.
I can only imagine what he could do with a terrible film like we normally do.
I don't even want to slop it up for him. I think we have one of the great minds of film in our hands if we keep curating the correct stuff for him.
Honestly,
eventually lead him into an Oscar
or a movie, something for writing at least, or
even a movie
criticisms. But I got some questions for you guys today. I guess I don't have to say you guys, just for you, Lucas.
Oh. Well, the audience
and the audience. Yeah, I guess you guys. Not like it's just us two right here.
Get the book out.
First question.
Yeah, hit me with it. I don't know.
Do you like the space sluts?
Ooh. A little.
Yeah.
A little.
How about Star Whores?
Oh. Now you're speaking my language.
This one's not on topic at all, but what about ghost monkey business?
Oh, spooky. That's good.
Other questions for you though. For real. Do you like Mrs.
Holiday
Claus?
Hose. She's a holiday hoe. I never really got the fascination with Mrs. Claus, I guess.
Yeah, me
Just
either.
like the housewife of a beloved figure. Cool, I guess.
Yeah. And my last
Seems
question
nice.
for you.
Yeah.
Do you like
Yeah, I do.
do you like real stock footage of US Air Force flights?
It was just rockets, spaceships, yes.
Yeah.
What red-blooded American doesn't, Brandon?
That's what I'm saying. Well, if you answered yes to any of the above of liking the space sluts, Mrs. Claus,
Check.
or real live stock footage of the U.S. Air Force and rockets, you've come to the right place. This is the
Where
good,
we
the
at?
bad, and the movies.
Oh, okay.
That's what
I'm
we are.
Lucas.
And I'm Brandon.
It's the terrible twosome.
And we got Kevin High here.
Yeah, he's around. He's running around.
I can't catch him. He's too small.
Jinjo's not here. Sadly, he's in the living room.
He's outside.
That'll be bad.
Well, what do you think would happen if he was outside?
He's done it before, and he just sprints into the door in fear. Our door.
He's such a little baby.
In a desperate attempt to return. Yeah.
He sprints under the bed if any stranger walks into the place.
That's true.
He's such a little baby.
He'll outlive us all, I'm sure.
Did we ever tell you the story of when Caesar got out here in Billings?
I think maybe, but tell it for the audience.
It was like Easter. I was working. My dog, Caesar. It was Easter, and I was working, and he's old. He's 10 now. He used to be like a farm dog, just used to live outside. He ate chickens and snow and wood to survive, so he can do it on his own. It's no
Classic
problem.
Farm dog shit, yeah.
But Marina went to take out the trash one day, and didn't even realize that Caesar followed her through the garage and outside, and she turned back around and closed the garage door, and he was still outside. And so,
how bad you beat her after?
I did not beat my wife, my pregnant wife. No. But like, her mom was here, Tana was here in town, and 30 minutes go by, and she's like, "Where is Caesar?" So they search all over, and she realizes he's gone. She's texting me, freaking out. I end up telling her to look on Facebook on our like neighborhood group page, and she sees a picture of like somebody's like, "Yo, whose dog is this in my kitchen?" Two little boys picked Caesar up on the just outside somewhere on the sidewalks and just brought him over and let him in the house, and they took a picture. Happy as could be. He took a little hour adventure. He loved it.
Didn't attack the kids. No,
didn't attack the kids. He doesn't attack kids
unless they're dressed as chickens
or a Great Dane or a boxer.
Yeah, then we got problems.
Racist against those breeds.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the good, the bad, and the movies. And this week we watched a film from 1964, one of our oldest.
Is it our oldest? No,
because It's a Wonderful Life is there.
And that's fucking 1940s, 50s.
But it beats out Cat from Outer Space, Gus, and The $1 Million Duck. It beats out Exorcist, Shining, Annie Hall. I think it's our second oldest.
Might be our second oldest. Okay.
I think it's our second oldest.
And our most esoteric.
You think?
No. That's probably Boon Me. Or
probably.
Videodrome.
But we watched from 1964, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Misleading title, kind of.
Yeah. Did not conquer shit.
He was a peaceful guy.
And before we get into it, we're not drinking beers today. Are you drinking a beer? I don't have a beer.
I have a normal Diet Dr. Pepper. They seem to have discontinued selling the beloved cream soda variety at the Walmart me and Alex grocery shop at. So,
damn, you got to stop at the Albertsons right there then, at the base of the hill, just for that.
Do it. They're racist anymore.
Oh, Albertsons is racist.
They are.
Wow.
You wouldn't believe it, but they are.
Wow. This is breaking news today.
Yeah, they told me a Chinese man born in China could not be an American president.
Racist. That's racist for sure.
That's what Albertsons, the store, told me.
At the Walmart I work at, there was a guy that came through counseling with 3 12-packs of Diet Dr. Pepper, 3 12-packs of Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda, and 3 12-packs of the Diet Dr. Pepper like strawberries and cream one or something.
That's me.
He's loaded up. I've got a cherry mellow yellow from Five Guys.
Hit that freestyle machine.
Yeah, I thought maybe because mellow yellow is kind of like Mountain Dew, it would taste like kind of Code Red. It's kind of Code Red.
Okay, Code Red like Santa's outfit.
Code Red like Red Alert, Santa's been conquered by some Martians.
Outfit.
Movies. And shout out to all my work folks that watched this week. I told you guys that last weekend it was slow, so we watched We watched Bigfoot versus DB Cooper at work.
It's a fun time.
They were like, "What the hell is this?" So then I was writing more scripts and like, "What are you doing next week?" It was Jack Frost. Like, "Oh, we love Jack Frost." So did we. We all loved Jack Frost, actually.
Did they get the Scorsese sort of references in the DB Cooper?
Nope, they didn't get Scorsese. They didn't get the Hitchcock Psycho, or they didn't get the John Carpenter stuff.
That's a shame.
But they all loved Jack Frost, just like us. You weren't there, but we all gave it above a 6. Had some hard.
I gave Jack Frost a good score.
Yeah. And then one of my technicians was like, "Well, what are you doing next week?" I told her Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. She watched it. Then she watched Santa Jaws afterwards. She was like, "Oh, I love these." I was like, "Great."
Is Santa Jaws on our docket next?
I almost did it that first Christmas for the holiday host for you and I, but there wasn't enough research on there, so I replaced it with Santa with Muscles.
We're doing it again?
We could do Santa with Muscles again.
I think the people would. I don't know what they would want.
I think they would want it for sure. They'd want those muscles in their mouths and ears. Yeah, for sure.
A Hulkster.
The Hulk's muscles in their mouths and ears and all different orifices they want for sure. Because that's just the Hulkster.
Brilliant.
But so Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Let's get into it. We have a director. His name is Nicholas Webster.
Sounds fancy.
I've never heard of him, but why is that fancy?
Sounds like a knight.
Yeah.
A royalty.
Okay. He's done
poet.
films such as Dead to the World. He's done one called Gone Are the Days. He's done Mission Mars, another Mars-themed movie.
Sci-fi, yeah.
One episode of Get Smart when it was back as a television series.
Popular.
2 episodes of Bonanza.
Sure.
A movie called No Longer Alone, sorry. Another one called Man Beast. And the last one I have is one called Myth or Monster.
Okay. Some TV I've heard of, some movies I haven't.
Correct, yeah.
But
heard both TVs.
60 years ago. He was in The Working Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of our contemporary work we would have seen.
So he's no Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying.
Yeah, well, and if this movie is any quality, I mean, it's one of those guys who just drifted away in history. Movies didn't take him.
Yeah.
His work survives sometimes, though.
Writers, Paul L. Jacobson.
This is a man.
Not applicable. This is all he wrote.
Okay, I saw I didn't even have a Wikipedia page when earlier I was looking. I didn't look at anything else, but I was just trying to get a gauge in the movie.
Other writers, Glenville Meredith, not applicable. This is their thing.
That sounds like a pseudonym.
Glenville Meredith, yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
And then a cast of people I also don't know. You've got John Call, Leonard Hicks, Vincent Beck, Bill McCutcheon, Victor Stiles, Donna Conforti, Chris Month, and a name that popped up a lot in my research, but I actually don't know who she is. Maybe other people do. Pia Sedora.
Yeah, I saw that was like a notable thing too.
It was like, this is her premiere of anything. And I was like, okay, is she a big name? I think she was in like 3 different things in the 80s.
Okay, so maybe our moms know her.
Maybe.
A long time ago, and this is kind of a B movie. Not there's no Gregory Peck, you know?
Nope.
There's no Brando.
There's no Dick Butt Kiss.
There's no Dick Butt Kiss. There's no animal of any kind.
I don't know.
No reindeer.
Torg was pretty animalistic. No, there was that polar bear.
That was clearly a person, though.
It's totally a person.
Yeah, that was not a real animal. Brandon,
like,
they fooled you.
They got me. I was like, oh my god, a real life polar bear. How'd they get that?
How'd they do that?
It's a man in a teddy bear costume. Walking on all fours. And then a plot for you. The Martians kidnap Santa Claus because there's nobody on Mars to give their children presents.
Yeah, that is right. Santa sort of unwinds it all in the end, makes it all right and just as you would expect he would. Is this? I think this might be Santa's first foray into space and sci-fi that I know of. Earliest attempt.
I think so.
Maybe the only attempt.
Maybe
It's
the only
interesting.
attempt.
I mean, it's not like something insane. It's just your classic genre blend. You know, Christmas, space. Let's make a Christmas space. But remains to be seen if it was effective.
But let's also make it about themes of growing up too fast and, falling
Depression.
into depression and falling into the capitalistic thing of getting toys. And
What is Christmas?
what is happiness? Wow.
What is humanity? Can it extend past our fingertips?
Trying to shock humanity out of my fingertips. I think that would make me dead. I think I would die if I lost humanity through my fingertips.
But you may gain something greater.
Dick size.
Yeah.
If you revoke your humanity through your fingertips, it all goes to your dick. I'm telling you right now.
Till they get there. That's what they don't tell you about Hollywood.
10 truths about Hollywood you don't want to know.
Dick size.
1. Megan Fox
balls,
has webbed feet. 2.
She does.
Dick size. Or maybe she has that thumb thing. She has those club thumbs or something, or club toes or something. She's super self-conscious about it. Yeah. She's super self-conscious about her thumbs or her toes or something. My words, not yours.
Yeah.
Taken directly from my mouth. You want to hear some history about this?
You have some? The history is coming? The history
is coming, yeah.
No, it's here. I'm prepared. Bat in the hatches.
You have prepared or you haven't?
Have not. I got a bat in the hatches right now. I'm saying.
Oh my! You need a vacuum or something.
Oh, they're too late. The history's here.
He's dead.
Hello, I'm history. I'm here.
Nicole History here.
Oh, he landed the plane.
So about this, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, like I said, is a 1964 American science fiction comedy film based on a story written by Glenville Meredith. So he had a story credit. The film marks the first documented appearance of Mrs. Claus in a motion picture, coming 3 weeks before the television special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which also featured Mrs. Claus. The film was the idea of producer Paul L. Jacobson, who was also a writer, who worked in the video production and wanted to move into feature films. He hired writer Glenville Meredith to develop the idea and Nicholas Webster to direct, and made the film through his own Jailer Productions. Jacobson called the film a, in quotes, Yuletide science fiction fantasy, end quote. And he said he made it because of a perceived gap in the market of sci-fi Christmas films.
Sci-fi Christmas, yeah.
Except for the Disneys, there's very little in the film houses that children recognize as their own. Santa Claus Conquers the Martian regularly appears on lists of the worst films ever made. It regularly featured on the bottom 100 list in IMDb, and was featured in an episode of the syndicated series of the Cannes Film Festival of 1986. Santa Claus Conquers the Martian took on a newfound fame in the 90s after being featured on an episode of the comedy series Mystery Science Theater 3000. The Santa Claus Conquers the Martians episode became a holiday staple on the Comedy Central cable channel in the years following its premiere in 91. It has since found new life again and has been the subject of new riffing by Cinematic Titanic and riff tracks. So, multiple revivals of this film from 60 years ago.
From what we do. How'd you come about this film?
I just Googled worst Christmas movies of all time. And this consistently popped up there, and I was like, this does seem like a B movie type Christmas film, so we'll have to do it eventually.
I think it was probably a good swing. Remember, at the time of America, context, space race, we haven't got to the moon yet. The
Soviet Union crisis.
The craze for the stars was untethered, just like our hopes for humanity.
It's poetic.
Thank you.
Sometimes you be poetic, Lucas.
Trying. In Seth's absence, our poet laureate of the podcast.
Oh, Seth's the poet laureate.
Yes.
It's his love of
And he's
not
dead.
Shakespeare, but any other poet.
He's a purist.
Of Walt Whitman. He loves and Emily Dickinson.
He loves Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson.
It's crazy how much Seth loves
It's probably
Walt
what he's
Whitman
doing right now.
and Emily
while
Dickinson.
He's unwinding.
He's
Right,
doing
Walt Whitman.
Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson.
Yeah.
And he's always doing that, you know? If he's not here or he's not at work.
That's why his soul is so light, unburdened.
He
You know what I
takes in
mean?
those poets
Yeah.
physically and mentally and emotionally and then releases them like a dove.
He always has.
And he always will. It's budget time.
Skibbity boo bop 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 bop, budget time.
We're throwing some cash on some ass and real fast.
Yeah.
We
Go
got
to
a
the
fast
bank.
car.
They'll
And I
tell
got a
you
ticket to anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Oh. We're just going to start rapping Fast Car by Tracy Chapman after that. One of the saddest songs of all time.
Yeah, and Luke Combs shouldn't be covering it.
At work, they love to play country music, and that always comes on is the non-Tracy Chapman. You got a fast car.
Yes.
I got a ticket to anywhere.
From Luke Combs, yeah.
I remember you were
opposite of the embodiment of that song. That artist. That's okay.
Car. They got a fast car. I mean, that's all about country.
Do we have a budget?
We have a budget, and that's it. I don't have any.
You don't have any
box office
information. Okay, I gotta really buckle down if I want to win this one. I gotta be really close if I want to take home the prize today. For the budget
a budget, and I gotta guess it right now.
I need to win this, so I'll say $900 billion.
You're the winner.
Oh, fuck yeah!
It's 200,000.
Okay.
200 billion.
I was a little off.
You're only 700 billion off.
That's not bad. Inflation, you forget too. Didn't do that. What is 200,000 in today's money?
Holiday host. Let me look because I don't
look. But this didn't go to theaters. It didn't seem. Went straight to DVD. A holiday marketplace imperfection may have led to some money in the home video market, but it did not at the theater. 200,000. I mean, it's not crazy cheap. They didn't have the money to do CGI, but computers didn't exist at the time. What do we got, Brandon?
$1,888,000.
Okay. Today's money. Okay, so
that's
money. That's
just under 2 mil. 1.9 mil.
And it's an independent movie.
Yeah, of course.
He invested a good chunk of his life savings, I would imagine.
But it's got Pia Zadora, so
a good discovery, I guess.
First role. So 200,000 didn't make anything, but I think with all of these revivals and being picked up by Comedy Central to play like every year for a while, it made its money.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was on YouTube for free right now though, so I don't know if it's still making that much money.
I guess that's true.
It seems to have entered the public domain, whether it legally is supposed to or not.
And what is the public domain again?
That just means like you can watch it anywhere. You can host it or riff on it or whatever.
Anybody can have it.
Do anything with it, yeah. I don't know if it legally should be in the public domain, but I don't think the guy cares or has the legal protections on it anymore. So that's why everyone can do these riffs like we do, like Mystery 3000 does.
Is there a way for me to send you these taglines?
You can just hit them. Do them in your best Lucas voice.
Lucas here.
Oh, it's like listening in a mirror.
Hey, I'm Lucas. Indubitably.
Oh.
Ostensibly, these will be.
Good word.
The first one. Blast off for Mars with Santa and a pair of Earth kids. Science fun fiction at its height.
Oh, that's a long one, Mr. Lorenz.
Now I'm gonna do my best, Devin.
Okay.
Santa Claus saves Christmas for the children of the world.
That was a good Devin.
But Santa
Your
Claus also
father.
saved Christmas for the children of Mars, not just for this world. Should have been
They're
of the
underselling him.
worlds. Yeah.
You're right. They're underselling Santa.
Now I'm gonna do my best, Seth.
What up?
Santa kidnapped by the Martians.
Yeah.
Out of this world fun and action as two Earth kids are whisked away with him to Mars.
Wow. And that was one tagline, even though it was 3 different little mini taglines.
Correct, yeah.
Good marketing.
There's also 3 more taglines.
But just rattle them off. Go.
Aliens attack the North Pole. Who will save Christmas? New, never seen before, in space blazing
Mrs.
color.
Claus. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the last one, the seasonal sci-fi spectacular. That's some good alliteration there.
Yeah, and that seems to be going off of what the market imperfection was.
Yeah. Which of the 6 is your favorite?
The one you did is as Seth.
Santa kidnapped by the Martians, out of this world fun and action as two Earth kids are whisked away with him to Mars.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of information delivered. Good on them.
That tagline was longer than the plot summary on IMDb.
Correct.
Longer than the writer credits that they did. I like probably the first one, Blast Off for Mars with a Santa and a pair of Earth kids. Science fun fiction at its highest.
I mean, are they lying?
It combines the genre.
Its selling points, sure.
Genre.
Genre.
How did Trebek say it?
Genre.
Genre.
Yeah.
Now pick the next genre.
Genres.
Potpourri. There's always potpourri somewhere.
It's a good category.
Taglines of our own.
I wasn't expecting this question.
Santa Claus is a conquistador because he conquered them.
How about Bart?
No, that's a fact name. That's not a tagline.
Oh, okay.
I mean, who's stopping Bart from being a tagline, though? He's been labeled as a fact all this time. Oh, shit, the police? Yeah, we can't make him a tagline.
We could do taglines. How can you sell this movie? Coming soon to theaters. Clemar.
Chief Kemar?
If you want to meet Chief Kemar, you got to buy a ticket to the movie.
The U.S.
Get me in the door.
U.S. versus Soviet Poopian space race.
Was there some Soviet reference in the movie?
There was some Soviet reference.
A little bit
in the movie. Yeah. Product of its time. There was a Nixon reference in there.
I mean, yeah, we're still fighting the Soviet proxy war today. So.
But when was Nixon president? 72?
At that time, no. I think he finished. Yeah, 72. He finished the Vietnam War. He ended it.
When was Nixon president? 69 to 74. So this is just pre-Nixon.
Well, he had lost to JFK in 1960. JFK beat Nixon to become president, so he was a political figure.
Yeah, for sure. He was beating him up. They had a full fisticuffs.
Because there was that big thing about that was the first televised presidential debate.
Oh, that's right.
Nixon and Kennedy. Because people who listen to the radio thought that Nixon won, but if they watched, Kennedy was like looking like a fucking movie star, and Nixon like old and villainous looking. So Kennedy won, actually.
I just listened. Have you listened to the Shane Gillis stand up on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
The new one. It's fantastic. But there was a point where he said he wants Trump to come back just to listen to debate because
Yeah,
he just always shits on people the whole time. You fucking stupid. You gay.
he's a good
But
debater.
he's like nobody could beat him except for Biden because Biden couldn't understand what he was saying to him anyway. And he'd be like,
It just yells over the
you're
top.
so old and stupid, Biden. He'd be like, what? And he'd be like, he won there. I don't know how he won, but
He did.
it was a good stand-up. I really like it. I had one more tagline, but I can't remember what it is.
Save it for the next movie.
That doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you can roll it over.
Every week we have one rollover one.
Yeah, we'll save it for next time. Put it in your pocket.
Jack, my nipples have frostbite.
You didn't save it for next time.
No, that's my last week's one.
Oh, you rolled it over already?
From my last week's rolled over to this week.
Okay, that makes sense for this week then.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Jack Frosty one. So I think we nailed it. Yeah. Jack, my nipples have frostbite.
They could sell that.
Yeah. Rock hard. Like diamonds.
You're printing money.
I mean, my nipples are often very hard, just so you all know.
That's what the people buy. That image.
That's what the people want to hear right now on this podcast.
That way of life.
Facts.
Excuse me. Sorry. Jesus Christ.
Could be that.
Could be gross burp.
Gross burp facts.
It could be
Santa Claus Conquers the Facts. Could be very
Santa
good.
Claus facts the Martians.
Oh, shit.
You think he does something different to him?
If he's facting them? Because you'd be like, anybody that's not aware of the title and doesn't read the title of this episode, they'd be like, what the fuck is he doing to those Martians? He's facting them?
Jeez. What could they be? We could do Kimar facts, Voldar facts.
You're just going to go through every name?
Yeah. I don't remember anymore.
Winky the Elf facts.
Well, I remember Dropo facts, of course.
Dropo facts. Chochum facts, that like ancient wizard man.
He was cool. Let's do Dropo facts. He seemed to be he's a title character in a way.
He kind of is. He's also an idiot.
He's a double title character. The only one who could do that. I think we have to go Dropo facts.
Santa Claus and a Martian. You're right.
The chosen one.
Dropo drops the ball.
Dropo is the chosen one. Facts.
Dropo, comma. Drop the is and the. Dropo, the chosen one. Facts. He's our king.
All hail Dropo. All hail Dropo.
The Dropo is coming. The Dropo is coming.
He's going to drop our ass.
Torg facts? We could have done Torg facts.
No, I hated Torg. What a lame.
That guy came out of nowhere. Torg came out of nowhere.
He's a big toy.
He's so big. My first one is that the Martian ray guns were actually just painted whammo air blasters.
Wow. Who knows? Is that the little toy where you pull it back and air shoots out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. I mean,
so they just painted them black.
That's like old sci-fi, though. That was all that shit was.
And I mean, they used it because it wasn't going to kill them or anything. It was a freeze ray. It stunned them. So.
Stun those little guys. Those elves.
They're elves. They're not called little guys.
These little guys.
And Mrs. Claus. Stunted her.
Good.
Next, this entire film was shot in 4 days at Michael Meyerberg Studios, which was a converted aircraft hangar at Roosevelt Field in Long Island, New York. This area is now a shopping mall today.
Okay, that's a pretty quick turnaround. I mean, it makes sense. They didn't have any like crazy extended sequences, but 4 days in and out. A lot of Kimar, a lot of Voldar.
I'm trying to think what would have been like. It had to have been getting the footage of the Air Force shit and the rocket.
I mean, they probably had that as stock footage.
Yeah, just lined it up. Next, this film is in the public domain.
Okay.
Many copies of varying quality are circling around, including novelizations, theatrical productions, and attempted film remakes.
The fuck?
There was almost a remake. I don't think I put this in here. There's almost a remake in the 90s that was going to star Jim Carrey.
Sure. Why would there be a novel of this? Who would read Santa Claus Conquers the Martians?
People would eat this shit up.
They would read it?
Yeah.
It's like a kid's story, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a big reader in general, but are there a lot of Christmas reader fans out there?
No, sure. Christmas stories, yeah. Who would go to see the theatrical production is what I'm asking though.
I would probably go see the theatrical production.
Yeah.
That sounds
love
awesome.
This.
Love?
You love this. You love this.
I love it, huh?
You love this.
Interesting. Next up, most of the cast came from Broadway shows of the time.
Okay. Wait, wasn't it shot in California though?
No, Long Island.
Or is it I thought you said California. That makes sense, I guess. Borrowing from the locals.
And that's why we didn't know any of their names, because they weren't like Hollywood actors at the time. And maybe this might have been like their only stint.
Yeah, just weekend gig, only 4 days. Maybe it was like over Labor Day weekend or something.
Yeah. And could you imagine seeing Droppo on the stage?
I could.
That man a rock.
Yeah, like he's winning Tonys left and right.
He playing a dramatic role of Atticus Finch in the live production of To Kill a Mockingbird.
He'd probably play a good Lenny.
Yeah.
Play a good Lenny. Frankenstein, maybe. I don't know.
I was gonna say Boo Radley based on like character, but he couldn't play Boo Radley.
Doesn't have the soul. We're teaching that in English right now.
Nice. Yeah.
And we haven't started it yet. We've just been doing pre-reading stuff.
I know you've kind of been prepping with the new student coming back.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's ready. Okay,
we're all ready.
Sometimes it's a tough film with the racial themes and the
we're in the book. The
N-word and
can be tough.
Next, Voldar and Kimar's rivalry could be a subtle reference to Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter of Mars series. Voldar has green skin, and Kimar has red tinted skin. In the book, the green and red Martians were fierce rivals, stricken by internecine warfare.
Seems like a stretch. William Rice Burroughs? Is that who that was?
Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote the John Carter of Mars series.
Okay, I know that. I'm familiar with that. I mean, I don't know, it could be. This was a cheap knockoff of a lot of things.
I think you're thinking of John Wick of Earth, not John Carter of Mars.
Thinking of John Edwards, former presidential candidate.
I think you're thinking of J. Edgar Wright. What was J. Edgar's full name? Hoover.
Mr. Hooves.
J. Edgar Hoover Rice Burroughs John Carter of Mars.
It so behooves you.
He behooved me. What does that word mean? I know that word.
Behooves you. I think if it so behooves you, if it like, I don't know.
Like you're walking down the street.
Feeling comes to you. If it was so behooved. You're walking down the street,
and then out of nowhere you're behooved.
Then that means you're like, I want to do this one thing. I'm moved to do something. Let's look it up.
I figured you might have just been making that up.
Responsibility. Yeah, I was kind of right.
To be behooved is the duty of one's own responsibility. Okay.
No, I was right. Bitch.
Yeah, bitch. Fucking good bitch. Behoove you, bitch. The behooved bitch.
Behooves you to shut the fuck up.
Bitch.
Bitch.
My next and penultimate
good word.
Thanks, man. Fact is that this film is listed among the 100 most amusingly bad movies ever in the Golden Raspberry Award founder John Wilson's book of the official Razzie Movie Guide.
Okay.
Now, there was not a Razzies in 1964, so
Of
it wasn't
course.
nominated for them, but retroactively, he wrote this book and included this in the 100 worst of all time.
They should do a retroactive Razzies if they're looking for content.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea.
A Raztrospective.
Ooh, that's good.
They should hire me.
I was going to say, you should be the CEO.
I'll quit being a teacher.
Push aside John Wilson. Lucas Lorentz, CEO
I will. I'll
of the
kill him.
Razzies.
With a gun.
J. Edgar Hoover's gun.
That was his style.
Do you feel behooved right now to kill John Wilson?
I often feel behooved to kill in general, Brandon.
Not just John Wilson.
If it so be.
If the shoe fits.
Correct.
And my last one is that this ranks. Whoops. I forgot to change the thing. Hold up.
It's on the IMDb bottom 100.
This ranks as number 42 on the IMDb bottom 100.
Okay. Is that with all of our editions?
This is with Aladar
editions?
Yeah. So, our previous ones. Bigfoot versus D.B. Cooper, number 4.
Good movie.
The film we did 1 year ago today at number 5, Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
Yeah, a bad movie.
So bad.
Don't worry, I'll give it the consensus.
Birdemic 2, The Resurrection at number 6.
Good movie.
Birdemic 3, Sea Eagle at number 9.
Sea Eagle, good movie.
Birdemic, Shock and Terror at number 12.
Good trilogy. All good movies, genuinely.
Where does that rank in your best trilogies all time? Like, there's the Before
Probably
series.
6 or 8.
The Before series.
He's going to add
Toy
on
Stories.
to it, so I don't know if I can count it.
You're right. You've got The Hottie and the Naughty at number 16.
Pretty good.
A Talking Cat at number 22.
I liked it. It was good.
Film we did last year, 1 week ago. The Star Wars Holiday Special, number 23.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Bobbleheads, the movie, number 28.
I forget what I gave that one. Good?
You gave it a 7 or something.
That was good. It was a good movie.
Santa with Muscles, number 41.
Great movie.
This, number 42.
TBD?
To be determined. The Skateboard Kid, number 46.
Pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Space Chimps 2 Zartog Strikes Back, number 47.
Sucks.
Cats, number 48.
Bad by our shows.
Gooby, number 51.
Gooby rocks.
Gooby slaps. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey at 52.
Yeah, it was bad and dumb.
The Emoji Movie at number 79.
That's stupid and bad.
Mac and Me at number 82.
That one's good.
Dragon Wars, number 93.
That one's pretty bad.
Leprechaun 4 in Space, number 94.
That one's pretty bad.
The Room, number 95.
That one's just bad.
There we go. We've got so many on here now. We've got
a lot of them on there.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
21 of those bucks?
And 5 that are just off the list.
Wow, we're going to cover them all one day, especially if we do our style of including ones that have barely counted.
Yeah, that are unofficial on there for sure. But with that, that's the end of our Droppo the Chosen One facts.
Bye, Alex.
Bye. So we can get into the Droppo.
The Droppo. How old would Nicole Kidman been in 1964?
She would not have been.
Negative what?
I bet she's 54, so I bet she was -5.
5 years old before.
She was born in 67, not 69, so -3. I was pretty close.
Her parents may have been together.
So Nicole Kidman's parents were fucking.
They ostensibly could have rented or seen this movie on television somewhere.
Probably maybe like a first date.
Led to a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, first date. They were seeing that, that chemistry between Lady Momar and Chief Kiram. And they decided they were going to get it on and try and have a Nicole Kidman.
I think it's safe to say that this movie led to Nicole Kidman's existence.
The parents felt behooved to have Nicole. But
not unaccurate.
They had conception issues. They couldn't, they had to see a fertility specialist. They got their sperm tested, all that good stuff. And eventually it came around.
I mean, they didn't have to see it opening weekend.
No. But they had some issues, they couldn't have a child right away. His sperm, Nicole Kidman's dad's sperm, was not up to par.
Of course not.
And so it took a bit, but Nicole is a strong swimmer because of her long frame. You knew she was going to make it.
Breaststroke.
Man, she's a really good... If she outbeat all the other sperm freestyle swimming and she was breaststroking, she's so fast.
Why do you think she's won Oscars, Brandon?
Because she's such a good breaststroke swimmer. That's why she wins Oscars.
Because she's exceptional. A beautiful lady. Leads our show.
And movies.
Breaststroke as a sperm.
And the parents were behooved.
And movies. How we start this thing off like classic style. I like this intro. You knew I would.
Children singing a little "Hooray, Santa Claus."
We got some hand-drawn credit slides. Yeah.
Did you see, what the heck was the Fat W production? It was like a W that was a man, but his head was the middle prong and his arms were the other two. He was real fat.
That's art. That's creativity.
Did you notice the spelling error in the intro credits?
I missed it. What was it?
It was one of the big ones. It wasn't with all the names, but it was one where it was like director of photography, makeup, and then costume designer. Costume designer actually said costume designer.
Oh no. Costume. Well, like I said, hand painted, 4-day long shoot. They were just like, let's go. Not a lot of oversight.
It was a 4-day shoot, but they could have done more time editing.
They could have. Also have to edit that. You have to like hand paint a whole new thing.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Or just paint it.
And the little stencil drawing of Santa pushing the intro credits off the screen and another one pulls up.
That's cute.
It's Station Kid TV. That's the station, is Kid TV, broadcasting a first ever interview in the North Pole toy shop with Santa Claus. So away, you're like, oh, this is fake. No, everybody on Earth knows Santa Claus is real. They've seen him. They know that this is
canon.
Yeah.
And what's also, that's just accepted. Yeah, what the viewer is also forced to accept right off the bat, that this is Earth TV, because this is the Martians are watching in on this broadcast. Martian children are.
Martians from Mars have a television that can pick up the signal in Earth for Earth programming.
Which seems to depress the children, as they do not have access to Santa Claus.
No. And I mean, they're young. They're 10 and 8 years old.
Their parents are baffled. And the Martian design is their faces are painted green. And then they're in this kind of green little suit with a little antenna and toaster strapped to their
green antenna with like a vacuum hose extension connected from the top to the side.
Yeah, classic Martian look.
Yeah. And the alien kids are watching this news broadcast, and this, like I said, is a true broadcast in the North Pole at the toy shop. Immediately, they're like, and this is Santa. He's just smoking a fucking pipe on TV.
He was. Yeah, he's chilling. I'm a celebrity.
It's funny because he'd be like smoking a pipe, and then he'd like look at the TV like he was like this big like actual persona. He knew he was hot shit.
Yeah, well, he's Santa.
He's cracking jokes the whole time.
He's on benevolent. TV too. Yeah.
And Santa, it seemed like he was drunk or high from his pipe. He didn't even know the name of all of his reindeer.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was baffled. He's having a great time. He loves being a superstar.
Santa's here for a good time and a long time.
You would hope.
And then Mrs. Claus gets to be
first time ever, I guess.
Air. First time ever. And the instant he's like, honey, you're on television. She's like, oh, my hair.
Yeah, she freaks the fuck out.
flipping her dress around like literally.
Yeah, she looks fine, I think.
Yeah, but she
She's an old
thought,
lady.
woo! She
Yeah.
got all excited, all jittery. And Winky the elf is in charge of the space department of the toys. He made the newest rocket toy that actually runs on real rocket fuel. The hell is this toy?
Seems to be hard to acquire for parents.
Yeah, but he also made a toy of his idea of a Martian, and it looks eerily similar to the alien kids we saw earlier.
Spooky.
And a good transition as it zooms in on the Martian toy and then to Chief Kiram, modeled
Back on
after him,
Mars,
basically.
who has a
Or
problem with
not
the
Kiram,
nation's youth.
Kimar.
He's got a problem with the planet's youth.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of not doing anything anymore. You know who
They're not
else
eating,
isn't?
they're not happy, they're not sleeping.
You know who else isn't? Droppo. He walks
Yeah.
into the room, he's like, Droppo, where are you? He's just like laying on the floor.
Droppo's like a staple of the 1950s and 60s type of entertainment. Where there's always one character who's such a fucking dumbass, like a
Droppo!
Gomer Pyle type figure, yeah, where
Mhm.
he just stumbles in a Kramer-esque figure almost.
Squonks.
Squonks.
Squeege.
Squeege and Squonks.
Yeah, he's like, where are you? And can't see him, but he's just laying on the floor. But he finds him and he wakes him up with a tickle ray.
Yeah, which he begs to stop.
He's got good technology here on Mars. Tickle rays, sleep sprays, all their food is in
pills. Hooray. Yeah. A bleak vision of the future, Brandon.
Yeah.
You would like that. You'd probably get more business.
I'm not worried about the business.
No, but it'd be good for pharmacists if everything was pill form.
I mean, yeah. But then everybody would be pharmacists and I wouldn't be special.
No, it all just funneled back to you. You'd make more money.
No, there would need to be more pharmacists. I couldn't keep up with supplying the world's food in pill form.
I don't know. You seem like you're for this idea.
I'm not for this idea. We should eat normal food.
You're in it for big pills.
That's what they don't tell you. Mars is on the big pills action.
They are, teams.
They've been backing Big Pharma for ages.
Yeah. But the kids are sad.
Yeah. He's concerned that they're troubled. They won't sleep without the sleep spray. They've been watching too much Earth programming. They're not eating their pills. And Lady Momar brings the food pills home for the kids and advises Chief Kimar to visit Chochim, the ancient one, in the forest for advice. Yeah. He's like 800 years old or something.
Yeah. This fact upsets Voldar, like the sort of lieutenant of the planet.
Yeah, Kimar's second-hand man. They're not happy to visit Chochim. Voldar thinks it's childish to visit this ancient guy.
We can handle our own business.
But Chochim has wisdom. He's 800 years old.
And he creaks. And he wheezes when he talks.
He does, and he vanishes in and out of thin air.
He's got a big old beard.
So he appears from a smokestack, and immediately they're like, the children are sluggish. She's like, what month is it? And they're like, well, it's September. He's like, no, on Earth, you idiots.
On Earth, dumbass. It's just December 1st. He's like, that makes complete sense.
He's like, the kids have missed out on their childhood. I prophesized this for centuries.
Well, he says the Martian children are adults when they're born. They get programmed like computers to know how to do everything. But in this, they miss their childhood.
Wow, so we're stealing quotes, I see.
So in this sort of being able to see Earth children experience happiness of the toys and Santa Claus, they're becoming destroyed inside.
They're behooving.
So Chochim says they must have their own childhood, lest they be lost forever.
Yeah, they need to know what it means to have fun. They need a Santa of their own on Mars, but there's only one Santa Claus. So Chief Kimar makes his decision that the only action that they'll have to is to go to Earth and kidnap Santa. And they get there fast. They're already in Earth's orbit, like right away.
One problem though, the radar's on. The radar detection is off.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to locate pictures of Santa at low orbit. They get pictures of just New York City, then they
Yeah.
zoom in a little farther to look for Santa.
Yeah, because they're like, oh my God, there's hundreds of them, right?
They
He's
were
here.
also
I see
like,
him. He's waving a bell.
they were also like, look at how primitive this city is. It's all above ground.
Yeah, that's some stupid sci-fi shit. There's also stuff like that, yeah.
But yeah, they zoom in further. They find all the street corner Santas that are looking for donations for Red Cross or Salvation Army or all those things. I don't know what it was in 1964, but so they don't know what they're going to do. And then all of a sudden, the news. There were a lot of like cut to the news in this movie.
Yeah, the news covered everything important and relevant to the plot.
And right away, they got news very fast without social media or texting or emails or anything like that.
No, or cell phones. Yeah.
Yeah. The news reports an unidentified flying object in Earth's orbit. Here's where the Soviet Union denied any actions, and the U.S. defense system is ready and tracking this thing. And the alien ship has been spotted because the radar box isn't functioning.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck? Who unplugged it? They open it up.
Drapo
stowed away, taking a nap, and they fucking Droppo wanted to see Earth or something, stowed away
in a box of wires.
Yeah, so Droppo's damaged it. Now they go back under radar. The newscaster's like, oh, we lost him. Who knows where they'll be next?
I loved this moment too, because they're like, Droppo, you could have sabotaged this whole thing. He's like, yeah, but I never been to Earth, man.
Yeah. Classic Droppo.
Droppo, you weren't meant to go to Earth. You're like a butler in Chief Kimar's house.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
baby.
They end up fixing it. Yeah, it's gone from radar, and so the U.S. Air Force is suiting up. And I loved like these genuinely good Air Force flying shots. You got
some good,
planes taking off. You got the refueling. You got the pilots in them. You got rockets going off. I was like, wow, this is.
That's what I mean. I think might have had some stock footage from the producer,
or they got all of that live.
They might have.
That would be really impressive if they.
I don't think they have an Air Force base in Long Island.
They go to the nearest.
I mean, yeah. What the main one would have been in Houston at the time.
For
NASA.
For rocket wise, but they did just a lot of like U.S. Air Force, like off of like naval carriers and stuff.
Maybe one crewed at NASA.
Yeah,
I see. Feasible.
Well, the alien ship has landed on Earth. And some kids are listening to the news that some scientists, they're like, well, it vanished. We think it's a meteor. But one mad scientist was like, it's a Martian ship and I know it. And little Betty, she's like, I don't believe in Martians until Voldar and
pop up right there.
Voldar and Kimar and Rigna just show up right then and there.
And take them hostage.
Literally come up onto him because they were using the little whammo air blasters the whole time. This time they're just holding assault rifles.
Pretty
Came up on them with like an M16. They're like,
and the kids are like 1960s like dollhouse cute. They're so adorably perfect.
Oh my god, both of them were perfect kids.
Like impossibly annoyingly cute kids, yeah. And
decent actors for 8 and 10 years old.
Yeah, they had some chops. Well there, mister. I don't know.
Like when jumping ahead when they're in the airlock and Billy's like freaking out and banging on the doors and like looking at the time and like we're gonna get sucked out. That was pretty good.
Little kid names too, Billy and Betty.
Yeah, for sure. But so they're taken hostage and Billy tells Chief Kimar that the one true Santa is at the North Pole. So they steal the two kids so that they don't tell authorities. And immediately the news like, missing children, we've got no answers.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like that would be connected to the main mission.
Next, the monkeys or something like.
Yeah, next whatever could possibly relate to this movie. It's a little Deus Ex Machina, but that's okay. It's a kids movie.
Yeah, ostensibly. I mean, and so they get on the alien ship to go to the North Pole, and Droppo, strict orders on there to not go in the control center, not let the kids out of the sight. Droppo's just like, kids, look at this control center.
You're a classic dumbass. I love him. A king.
Ordered not to bring them there. And then they're like, well, what's this light? And he's like, oh, this will do this. And they're like, what's this one? And he's like, that means somebody's entering the door right now. And they're like, Droppo.
Hi, Droppo. So where does he hide him? I has to hide him somewhere.
He only knows one hiding spot.
In the radar box. Like, Droppo, what the fuck you doing in here, Droppo?
Radar, making sure the landing gear's safe. Like,
yeah, and then they have
go
a
back
meeting
to your
in there
cell.
too.
Yeah, but the kids are in there in this super secret meeting.
Overhearing
that they're never returning the kids. Good yawn.
Thanks. I'm tired.
They're gonna never return the kids, so that once they steal Santa, no one will expect that Martians were behind all of this.
Yeah, I just think Santa disappeared.
And they're like, kids are like, well, we got to figure out a way to alert Santa or get off here or something. And so Chief Keemar's like, all right, we're at the North Pole. We're going to get Santa, but I don't want any casualties. So we're going to send Torg in. And I was like, who the fuck is Torg? They kept talking about him.
Like an intimidating, yeah. End all be all.
And so the kids beat the Martians out of the ship to go alert Santa.
They dodge Voldar.
But Billy was smart. While he was in the radar box, he ripped all the cords again in the radar box so that if the rocket leaves, the U.S. Space Force will be there quickly.
They can track them.
And this is where you start to, like, Voldar didn't like that they were going to Chochim earlier, but this is where they really start to butt heads, Lieutenant and Chief here.
He wants to kill the kids.
Yeah. And they talk about leadership because Voldar tells him his plan is failing because the kids have escaped, and he confirmed with Droppo that he knows the plans. And, you know, this Mars used to be a place of violence and not...
Well, yeah, and he's like, this is basically saying there's a pussification of Mars, and you're behind it, Keemar. You're part of the problem.
Direct quote in this 1964 children film. Yeah. Pussification of Mars.
Pretty much.
Well, as the kids are running through the snow looking for Santa's workshop, Voldar right behind them, tracing their footsteps, and he's about to catch them when a polar bear comes and scares him off.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, with the cardboard polar bear who looks like dog shit. Scares him off.
The Martians don't look great either, but they look so much better than the polar bear.
Together. Yeah, the polar bear comes, scares off Voldar, tries to get into the cave where the kids are hiding, but then gets scared off too, right? Or just leaves.
I think he just leaves. I think he just left, and so Billy's like, I'm gonna look, see what we can get. They come out of the cave and step outside, and they're like, look for a light. Where's the North Star or whatever? We got to find a way to Santa's workshop. And Betty's like, there's lights right there.
It's coming towards us. Yeah.
I was like, that's a fucking robot.
And yeah, it's Torg sent to capture the kids, who is literally like the most stereotypical 1960s toy robot you've ever seen, except like 10 feet tall.
Well, and the funny thing is when they were like, look, it's Santa's workshop, it looked like it was the Iron Giant, like 40 feet tall in the distance.
Yeah.
But as he gets closer, he's 10 feet tall.
And a big giant toy looking robot, which is like terrified. Oh my god, it's Torg.
And Voldar comes up, Torg catches the kids, right? He sees them, Torg holding the kids, and he's like, Torg, crush these kids to death. I was like, what?
Yeah, but Torg doesn't listen. That's not his ethos. It's not his programming.
Chief Keemar reprogrammed Torg to only obey orders from him, and how I was caught Voldar in the act of subordinates.
Which means he gets to go to the space jail, the brig.
Hi, Jinjo.
Jinjo, say hi.
Hello. Elaine.
Lucas, will you cover the camera so I can go pajamas?
Yeah, I'll cover the camera.
And you know, Keemar doesn't. This is where they talk about it a little more. Keemar doesn't want anyone to get hurt, but Voldar
thinks, peaceful leader.
Yeah, his weaknesses will be the downfall of Mars, because it's a planet of war, and this hunt for toys and Santa and happiness and pussification goes against what their ancestors had fought for.
Yeah, or a barbaric war-rearing society.
Roaring.
Not this liberal bullshit.
So Mars is a conservative planet.
It was. Or
Yeah, not
Kemar ran
anymore.
it.
And
I love the little detail too, how before there's just like as Kemar is like, our kids are sad, and like, well, what do you want to do, Kemar? You are the president of everything. It's like, oh, this is the most important Martian. I see.
Chief Kemar, what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna steal Santa and we're gonna bring him back.
A plan as old as the Bible.
Tale as old as time. Kemar and the Beast. What are you doing? Tune into the YouTube at 111 to look at Lucas making this weird ass face. Why are you doing that?
I don't know. Chilling.
You trying to make a double chin?
No, I'm trying to see where I missed in my shave earlier. I think there are a couple pockets.
I shaved today. It was long. It was like 4.5 days instead of 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is 5 o'clock shadow.
You shaved today and you've got that?
Yeah, I just trim it though.
Oh. I was gonna say that's sexy.
Looks like this.
Fucking sexy, man.
Thank
With
you,
your
man.
shaggy hair and your 5 o'clock shadow and your dimples and your...
Thanks, man. You're making me blush so much I have to go to the bathroom, actually. So keep it rolling, Brandon.
So here's the thing about capitalism.
What?
Is that Voldar thinks
You got
that
this.
that everything should be about the capitalism and the monetization. Yet Kemar thinks it should be all about joy. And that's what Christmas is. You know, if you believe in that it's all about joy, but then there's the whole Christianity aspect of it's all about God. But do the Martians believe in Jesus Christ? I don't know that. I don't know if they do. And how am I supposed to? What God is there if all of their gods and ancestors were murderers and killers? That's not what Jesus would have wanted. So what do the Martians look up to? I need answers right now. Somebody respond and leave me a voice message on previously Anchor, now Podcasters by Spotify, of what religion these guys believe in. Do they believe in the one and only Droppo? Are robots like Torg? Did they invent him? What the fuck was he? Who is Torg? Did they invent him or is he a living being? Because I need that answer right now, too. It's all about depression. I mean, these kids, they're forced to grow up. They said at one point that they're learning how to do calculus by the time, you know, they're able to walk and talk. And that's just crazy. They're putting too high of expectations on their kids, which is a direct correlation to today's society. You know, kids of these age growing up, even younger than me, are going to have such high expectations based on their parents and, you know, what the boomer society is saying. That's what's all over social media. But when you think about student loans and housing crisis and rent prices, how are we supposed to make it in this world with this inflation that keeps going up and up and up when the dollar sign and the minimum wage is barely matching that? And I think that's what Kemar is really trying to dive into and fight against Voldar with, is all of this inflation talk. I mean, it's crazy. How are we supposed to keep up with that?
That's crazy.
You're back.
I'm back.
Cool. Well,
Good rant.
it was. I just started going off.
Good
Can't
rant.
wait for you to
We
hear
need
it.
it. We need it.
Well, Torg, they're at Santa's workshop, breaks in, just starts knocking over all the workbenches. One elf like armed himself with a bat that he had made. He was like ready to fuck Torg up. He's like, "Come on,
Yeah.
robot!" But
Let's go one-on-one.
Santa's calm, thinking Torg is just a toy that was made, which he kind of is.
Yeah, in the presence of Santa, he just becomes pretty docile and a big giant version of a toy.
And Torg doesn't grab Santa, so the Martians come in to capture him. And I put, damn, Voldar just blasted 2 elves with the air plunger that's a freeze ray. And they're frozen there. Santa's like, well, why would you do that to them? And they're like, oh, it'll wear off. So
Yeah,
then
they were very concerned, Santa was, like, about their health.
and then Mrs. Claus comes in. She's like, why the fuck aren't you guys
Yeah, so
working?
she gets frozen too.
Rigna blasts him. Much calmer this time.
Yeah, Santa's like, thank goodness, I've been looking for a way to do that.
Santa's like a real homie the whole time, like a bro's bro. He's like, she just keeps talking, and I didn't know how. Thank the goodness some Martians are here with Torg the robot, which I think is now his. I think Torg belongs to Santa, because they were
Or
just like,
someone-
yeah, he's just a normal toy now.
And all toys belong to him or something.
So, Santa gets taken away, and the news is being broadcast all over the world that Santa's gone because Mrs. Claus reported that he was taken by Martians. So now, like, Santa's gone, and 2 kids are missing, and
yeah, the guy's basically throwing his hands up in the air.
and the space program is going to send astronauts to Mars immediately. They're going to forego the 6 months of rocket testing and all the training programs for the astronauts. They're like, just fucking sending them.
They know that's where they are because of the kid had to rip the radar box, so they have rockets right on the tail.
Correct. And I put that we were watching a real rocket launch there.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, then they don't get those in Long Island.
It rocked. It rocketed.
It launched.
And one of the Martians comes into control center. He was so jolly from just 5 minutes in the cell with Santa. His powers are starting to affect all of the Martians.
This isn't Droppo, is it?
No, it wasn't Droppo. It was Rigna. No, it wasn't Rigna. It was...
I didn't Rigna.
Maybe. Well, Santa's hanging in that cell with Billy and Betty. They're all bummed because they are why he got caught. But Santa's excited. He's like, I've always wanted to visit Mars.
Yeah. He's very zen. He's water.
He's part of the water nation. He taught Aang how to be a waterbender. Santa did.
Santa flows. He does.
And Droppo just ate Billy's chocolate ice cream like that right in front of him.
Dumbass.
Billy's like, I'm not too hungry right now. I was like, well, can I eat your chocolate ice cream? He's like, sure. He just, oh. You're like, oh, okay.
Well, it was
but
a
it's in pill form.
That is important to know. Yeah.
I also loved the meal that he was serving them because it was chocolate ice cream for dessert, but the two entrees were soup and beef stew. Could those be any more?
Well, I remember that, and then they also the subtitles. Did you watch on YouTube? I watched
on Prime.
Oh, I watched with the subtitles on YouTube, which were just they just had different words than what we said all the time. So it said they had turkey and sweet potatoes, even though I heard them say what you said.
They wrote turkey and sweet potatoes and chocolate ice cream?
Yeah, it's crazy. You should check out their subtitles.
The YouTube's is always so bad. No, they had soup as the appetizer and then beef stew as the entree. It was like too close.
Yeah, that is a little goofy. 1960s. They love it. They love it.
And an Earth rocket is nearing the alien ship. And Voldar tells everyone he's realized that Billy had sabotaged them by pulling the wires. Voldar goes to give the kids and Santa the grand tour of the ship. And he's like, well, let's check out this first part, the airlock.
Yeah, that's a cool tour. And Billy and Betty are like, I don't trust him. He's mean. But Santa's basically Jesus, so he's like, we gotta trust him. We gotta go do it.
We have to. And so they go in the airlock, and Voldar's like, oh, I forgot something. So he closes the door. The only way you can activate the airlock is via a switch in the control center.
Yeah, but it locks behind him.
It does lock behind him. And so he goes to the control center, pulls the switch, and there's a little clock on the wall that's counting down from 60 seconds. In 60 seconds, the airlock will go off. Why are you throwing so much clothes?
Kind of close the door without getting up and closing it.
That sounded pretty good.
Maybe Alex will close the door for me.
What?
I'm trying to close the door instead of closing it.
Why?
So you don't have to hear me and the cat.
Alex doesn't like to hear Lucas.
Got some hot chocolate.
You got hot chocolate coming?
Oh yeah.
What about soup and beef stew?
That too.
Nice. It's a full meal.
Yeah. That's the appetizer and entree, of course.
And so they're in here. Just airlock timers going off. Billy's freaking out. Santa sees that little air pressure duct. He's like, what did you say about this? He's like, that's how the air comes back in. He kind of looks at it like a similar look to a chimney with only 7 seconds left.
A similar look to how he would a chimney, yeah.
A chimney.
I know. It's funny. He gets that look in his eye. That chimney sparkle. Yeah.
When I see a chimney, my eyes
sparkle. Not you, because you can't fit into any and all chimneys, Brandon.
Is that a fat joke?
No, that's a you're not Santa Claus joke.
That means you're a man.
That's his like power. He says in the
That's-
movies, I
that's
can
his
fit
niche.
through any chimney. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's his thing. That's his Iron Man power. I can chimney.
That's his Marvel super. He's an Avenger.
Pretty much. That's exactly.
He summons chimneys and then sneaks through them.
So they appear. Well, first Voldar is all gloating. He's like, "I've locked them into space, haha, those
And
suckers."
Chief Kimar finds out that the kids in Santa are missing. We get a full on like fisticuff fight
Yeah.
scene. They were going at it.
Good battle, not bad.
And Kimar took a couple shots right away, but then gets the upper hand and was grabbing Boldar's head and just smashing it into the control center, like all the panels and whatnot.
He didn't give a fuck. Yeah,
I mean, he was smashing it pretty lightly. And then when it cuts to like the other angle, he's clearly
lot of
holding like
cuts.
a paper mache head or something.
there were a lot of cuts.
Yeah.
Pretty 1960s TV. But yeah, Vidar or Kimar comes out on top.
Yeah,
Voldar gets
Chief
put in jail again.
kicked the shit out of Voldar, smashing his head in. When Santa and the kids walk in, just laughing at the accidents and laughing at their lack of knowledge of Santa's powers. They're like, "How'd you get out there?" He's like, "It's an air duct." And like, "That thing's tiny." He's like,
Oh, so that's a
"I'm fucking
chimney.
Santa."
Yeah. You know it. Jinjo, shut up.
So did he use his powers on the kids too, or were they small enough to sneak through?
I think he just grabbed them, yeah.
And they just did their thing?
Yeah.
Well, they tie up Voldar and lock him in the cell. But when they land on Mars and go to check on Voldar, it's actually Droppo tied up.
Fuck.
He was
got him.
tricked with the food pills, and now Voldar is missing.
On the lamb.
Yep. And Chief Kimar, he comes in, he introduces Betty and Billy and Santa to his own children, and Santa's jolly laughter is quickly changing the demeanor of his
This is
own
so
children.
dumb. Yeah, just Santa being there, they'll start giggling.
They've got a twinkle in their eyes, like if they saw a chimney.
Yeah. They start howling.
And after some laughing children get to bed without sleep spray, Kimar tells Santa that they will recreate a toy shop on Mars here. And Santa's pretty receptive to this, as long as he can get back to Earth by Christmas. Until
Kimar's
Chief,
like, no.
you are never going back to Earth. And he's like, well, I've got to go back. And they're like, nope, you're here now. So he's like, all right. He
He's
just
pretty-
kind of,
Yeah, he flows, like I said.
he lives a very laissez-faire life.
Santa's a Buddhist.
Oh, yeah. He's a boon mist.
Boon song.
Quit that. Are you singing Christmas boon songs this year?
Of course.
What's your
caroling.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite Christmas boon song?
Yeah,
Little Drummer Boy, probably.
nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
In my barbershop choir, I love Little Saint Nick.
Don't know that one.
It's originally by the Beach Boys. They wrote it, so it rocks.
Okay, swingy.
Yeah. And so Voldar hiding in a cave with another castaway Strobel. This guy just came out of nowhere. He was just living in this cave.
Evil guy already.
And Voldar has plans to take over Mars and has Shim as an inside man.
Sure.
He needs to get let in through the nuclear wall or whatever it was.
Nuclear fortress, yeah.
Yeah. So they let him in, and Shim tells him that the toy shop is nothing like the one on Earth. It's a fully efficient assembly line rather than building by hand with hammers and saws. And the planet will soon be filled with toys.
A little bit of a dig at communism, at automation, right? Like, we have handcrafted stuff here in America. Over there in Russia, they have factories where they don't have any care or love in it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. And everyone on the planet is so happy with toys and spirit. But Billy and Betty are now acting like the Martian children used to. And Lady Momar presumes that they're homesick and that Kimar must get them home because it's not going to make them feel any better if their kids are happy, but the kids that they kidnapped are not.
Kimar and Momar are pretty decent folk, it turns out.
Yeah, honestly. And they're really receptive of each other's, like...
Yeah, they have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Good communication.
Droppo was told he can't be Santa because he's not fat enough. So he's shoving his face with
So he eats like 50 food
sweets,
pills.
pills and whatnot.
Well,
But that's-
and then yeah, then he just like that's gonna take too long after he eats like 60. He's like, I'll just put a pillow in here. Fucking
so he does, and
Drapo.
he gets in. Lady Momar made a new suit for Santa, and he puts that on and wears it. And he's like, "Well, now that I'm dressed as Santa, why don't I go to the workshop and make some toys?"
Because he loves it. Yeah, that's his
He's
favorite
had the
shit.
most Christmas spirit I've ever seen. But Voldar and his crew break into the workshop. They try and sneak in to destroy the control center, but keep making noise. I mean, this is like classic 60s, like Three Stooges kind of comedy, where one of them drops a wrench on the other's foot and it makes a noise, but then the other one's like yelling in pain and it makes a noise, so then the other one slaps him on the head, and
classic slapstick.
All shushing each other. But they get into the control room and they snip some wires so that the toys won't be correct anymore.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. They rewire them.
And in walks Drapo while they're in there. And Voldar's like, "Oh shit, it's Santa." They catch him, even though he has a screen, he has a helmet on with wires coming out all the top.
Yeah, they're like, there he is. It's clearly Santa. And Drapo never speaks because he's too much of a dumbass. He just, oh.
This isn't the man I just took a voyage from Mars to Earth to Mars again with. But this is Santa.
Yeah.
And so with Drapo and Santa's extra suit gone, they realize, Chief and Santa and whatnot, they realize Drapo must be playing Santa somewhere. They aren't too concerned
Probably in the
about
workshop. He loves it. Thank you.
And ooh, hot chocolate time. Thanks, Alex.
She put gin in it.
Ooh, shit.
No, she didn't do that.
She put Jinjo in it.
No.
Just some Jinjo hair. The essence of Jinjo.
That's fine.
And Santa's trying to make toys, but they're all coming out a little weird. He pushes doll and he pushes bear, but the heads are switched on.
Well, I had an issue with this because before, when they were doing it, if he would hit the switch, the toy would come out. And this time he's like hitting it 900 times, just waiting for the bear.
Yeah, he would push baseball bat once and a baseball bat would come out. They said, "Hey, we're looking for 2 trains." He flipped the switch like 60 times.
Yeah, well, the train just had cars on top of them. What was
it just had 2 Hot Wheels on the top of it.
Yeah, his toy machine's broken.
So yeah, just some things are coming out a little weird. And so he's like, you know what? We need to get Chief Kimar in here. So Bomar, one of Kimar's kids, does his call. He like calls him, but it's just like standing straight. He's like, "Dad." Because his little helmet can transmit a cell phone.
Some nerd shit.
And so Kimar comes over to look at the shop. He checks the control center, realizes it's been sabotaged, and he immediately knows. He's like, "Well, Voldar was here." And he was like, "You know what I also think? Drapo and the Santa suit are gone. So Voldar probably found him in this room,
pretty good,
thinking that that it was him while he was trying to make toys because he loves being Santa so much, and took him thinking it was Santa." I was like, Jesus, good work.
Absolutely right.
A bold hypothesis comes to fruition.
That's why he's probably Chief King.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. He'd catch you lying any time of day.
So now what? They're fucking playing foosball and shit?
No, they're not playing foosball. Voldar leaves his cave to go and take over Mars. And he leaves Shim to watch Drapo with the nuclear shield up. Shim's like, "Don't even try to leave."
He's equally a dumbass too.
He's so stupid. He's like, "If you walk through it, you disintegrate and you die." And Voldar comes to the shop and confronts Kimar, thinking he's like, "Oh, I've got Santa. I've got the perfect hostage to get whatever I want."
You can't get out of here.
And so he's like, "These are my rules. You're going to destroy this toy machine. You're going to send Santa and the Earthlings back. And no more joy through toys on Mars."
Well, this is so funny, the reaction from Kimar too, because it's very classic. He's like, "Well, I guess you won. You did it. You got it. Except for this. You have the real Santa."
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, do you now have Santa?" Yeah. And so,
got his ass.
Kimar tells him that he's won, and then makes the big reveal that they don't have the real Santa. He holds him at gunpoint and has Rigna and his men come to arrest him in the storage room. But shit goes down in the storage room because Voldar and Stobel work together, and they knock Kimar out in there, and they try and get Santa out of here.
Is this where the kids apprehend him?
Close, yeah. But Drapo has plans of his own too. He knows he needs to get out of here. So the little nuclear shield thing is just one switch. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And if it's on, it's green. And if it's off, the light's red. But it's just two uncovered like light bulbs, like a red light bulb and a green light bulb.
Yeah.
So he just switches the light bulbs places
how it works.
so that Shim looks over and thinks the shield is on while he tries to run out. And he's like, oh, he disintegrated.
Drapo's smart.
Shim is stupid.
Shim is so
Drapo's
stupid.
not smart. Did you see how long it took him to screw in that light bulb?
Well, it's Drapo. He's Gomer Pyle.
He missed it he had to try it 4 times. Whereas like Shim's gonna catch you. He's right there.
Shim, of course Shim can't. He's the only person dumber than Drapo.
But Drapo's on his way. And they're gonna try and get Santa out of here, Voldar is. But Santa and the kids bait Voldar into the toy room. And here they attack Voldar.
Kid style. Kid style.
Fun. And Santa laughter. So much that Voldar is defeated by toys and fun.
He gets hit by like this very racist Native American drumming wind-up toy. These cars.
So many marching band toys and
a lot of wind-up
guns.
Toys. They get his ass.
And they were like bubbles and
kid style.
Like he was so defeated. He had a literal gun on him, and they were all defeated. He was defeated.
Just like bawling.
And so Kimar awakes from being knocked out, and he comes in and he sees Voldar crying. So he sends him away to jail. And Santa tells him that you guys don't need me anymore here in this toy shop because Drapo walks in just then. He's like, "Here's your Santa," and he's like, "Ah,
yeah." I'm sure this will all go well. With Drapo at the helm.
Santa and the kids, they say their goodbyes, and they take a rocket back to Earth to make it back by Christmas Eve. And hooray for Santa Claus plays again, bookending the movie as the end credits roll. What a film.
So he conquered the Martians with Christmas spirit in the end of it all.
Yeah, he didn't
commit
genocide or anything.
Yeah.
He claims territory. He full on Christopher Columbus is them.
This is all the North Pole now.
Gave their society smallpox and took their land.
No, he's a noble figure, it turned out. Who would have predicted that?
That this Christ-like figure was noble?
Yeah.
He was Nobel.
He was Nobel.
Noel. The first Nobel.
Noel. 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 Noel.
You're doing Jolene?
No, that's the Christmas Carol Noel.
Did you love the Thanksgiving football halftime shows where Dolly Parton
was good. Yeah.
Dolly Parton was wearing a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader outfit at 74.
That's what she does. Yeah, that's what she does. That's Dolly.
Jack Harlow's was an inflatable igloo on in the middle of the Lions Stadium.
Yeah, he was like texting through it.
What a show. But what a show we did here. We don't need to.
We should take a 5-second break for signaling where the movies ended.
Just for fun. We should do 5-second breaks more often. We could break at any time.
Brain breaks.
I doubt you have any quotes. Brain breaks?
Correct. I'm still feeling naughty about the quotes.
But you did take...
I took one quote in Boon Me.
And you took 2 from me in something else, I think.
Emoji?
Yeah, emoji. You took 2 from me in emoji.
Okay.
So, you're kind of maybe getting back on a resurgence.
In his trivia show, me and Alex watched, one of the questions was, what is the box office return for the Emoji movie? And I was like 1 million off because I couldn't remember exactly what it was, but I was pretty close. And
was that the Barstool one?
Yeah, someone guessed $1.1 billion.
What an idiot!
Emoji, yeah. And someone guessed 20, so I was dead on.
What was it again? It was like 207,
216, I think. I guess like 215. Yeah.
Yeah. I have 11 quotes. I took 3 from IMDb.
Any self quotes?
No self quotes.
Wow, straight movies.
Straight movies. My 3 from IMDb. The first one is Kimar. After Santa was working all day, he goes, "How you feeling today? Tired?" And Santa's, "Oh no, I'm not tired, but my finger is." And when you
All
take
he had
that
to do
from
was, yeah.
yeah, when you take it from IMDb without the context of it being an assembly line where he's pushing a button, it's
If
like,
you think
what?
Santa's finger in, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, he's just automating the machine. Press of a button.
When Betty sees the 3 Martians show up on Earth in the woods, she goes, "What are those funny things sticking out of your head?" And he goes, Rigna's like, "Those are our antenna." And she's like, "Well, are you a television set?"
Are you?
He was pissed about
No.
that.
Yeah.
And then this
Seems
one
good.
was stupid. I shouldn't have left this one in here. Hargo was the name of the guy that got all jolly after 5 minutes with Santa. He goes, talking to Chief, or maybe it was Voldar. He goes, "What's soft and round and you put it on a stick and you toast it in the fire and it's
Oh,
green?"
this is a
And
good one. What are
Kimar's
you
like,
talking about?
"I don't know what." And he's like, "A Martian mellow."
Hey, that was a good. That's a good joke. Well, he did botch the delivery because he was
Oh,
like, "Well,
so bad.
what's?" Yeah, he's like, "What's crunchy and brown and chocolatey and also green and also green." Yeah,
A Martian mellow.
marshmallow. Hey.
This was a good one. I loved this one from Santa when he's on the news and he's talking about the reindeer. They're like, "Are you going to use a rocket-based system this year?" And he's like, "No, I'm going to use the reindeer. Good old Dancer and Prancer and my boy Thunder and Blitzen, and there's Nixon and Vixen
Yeah,
and Nixon." And he's like, "Where did I get that name from?"
a little sneaky political discourse.
Um, so when Bomar and Gomar, these are Lady Momar and Chief Kimar's
There's
kids,
children. Yeah.
they're watching the television program, and they're saying something about, "Oh, this doll is gonna bring tender loving care to all the children." And Gomar goes, "Bomar, what is a doll?" And she's like, "I don't know." And they go, "Gomar, what is tender loving care?" And like, "Well, I
Yeah.
don't know either." I was like,
Like, I've never experienced it. Yeah.
it's like, oh my
Oh, my
god.
mom seems to be pretty caring of them, but
Yeah, she was
whatever.
great. She was always worried about them and making sure they were fed. And
Yeah. So I'll make sure I give them a little treat this time. And the kids are like, "I don't know what love is. Fuck you."
here's the one you stole from me. It's from Chochum. He went, "We have no children on Mars. They have children's bodies with adult minds, but they've never had a childhood." And I was like,
That's some sci-fi shit.
that's kind of a play on, expecting kids to do too much too fast and putting too high of expectations on them.
Yeah.
Chochum's preaching. The next, the U.S. Defense Department. This must have been the news. The U.S. Defense Department has suddenly announced that the unidentified flying object has disappeared from our radar screens. They believe that the object has either disintegrated into space, or it may be an spaceship from some other planet which has the ability to nullify our radar beams. So it's like,
Spot on.
good
guesses.
hypothesis.
Yeah.
News again. They went, 2 local kids have disappeared mysteriously from the vicinity of Welch Lake. The police found no clues. It seems as if Billy and Betty have vanished into thin air. This comes on a day when everything seems to be vanishing into thin air.
He's making some good connections, this newscaster.
This is a big day for news.
He's just wildly speculating, but yeah.
UFOs and missing kids and Santa Claus.
Came to work today.
Yeah. 3 more. This is when Santa, after Mrs. Claus gets blasted with the freeze ray, and he just goes, "My dear, I can't remember a time you were so silent for so long." And then
Yeah.
looks into the camera.
Fucking bitch.
Cheeky little bastard. Santa again, after they eat their pills, the stew and the soup and the chocolate ice cream, and Santa just goes, "I suppose if a Martian has a headache, he doesn't take pills. He
That was a good
takes
joke.
chocolate ice cream."
That's a good joke.
It is a good joke.
Kids loved it.
And then my last one is when the kids and Santa don't get blown out of the airlock and they show up in the room after
I know what you're gonna say, yeah.
Kimar has just beat the shit out of Voldar, and they see him unconscious, and Santa comes in just laughing. "Oh, poor man, he's fainted." The man just had his brain bashed in.
He's such a good-hearted guy, Santa. He can't imagine a different outcome.
No, he just fainted. It was a little too much for him at that moment.
Yeah, he's overwhelmed.
So that's quotes. 11 from me, 10 from me, 1 from you because you stole it from me earlier.
Good on me. I have a quote again.
Nice.
You
You're
can't say I
turning a
didn't do
corner.
it.
You're turning a corner. Next week you
Passing
might have
grade.
40 just to make up for all the lost ones.
I could. You don't know.
30 minutes worth of just Lucas quotes.
That'd be intense. But what time
It's
for the thermometer? Do we have access to all of these, Brandon?
all but
Critics, Metacritic.
Metascore. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
That's a point for you for knowing which one it was.
I'm winning. Thermometer.
2-0.
Critics, I'm gonna say 0%.
You're the winner.
Am I close?
To 25.
The old 1 out of 4 at the time?
Yep. And then what do you think about audiences?
This could be any number.
You're right, it could be
0 and 100.
Yeah.
I'll say 61. I'm gonna say a lot of people buoyed this ironically up.
Baba buoyed?
Yeah.
Not close. It's a 27.
Okay, not as many ironically buoyed it. Okay.
And then last is an audience score on IMDb out of 10.
The big salami. Let's go 3.1.
That's your close one. It's a 2.7.
Okay, right. The same as the tomatoes. Potatoes.
So critics gave it a 25. Audiences 27 and 27 for a 27. Lucas, what are you giving Santa Claus Conquers the Martians?
You know, I don't think this is one of the worst things ever made, especially considering it was made in 1964. I'm going to give this a 5.1. I think this is a fine film. I think it looks a little goofy, but I think it's got some good storytelling in it. I like how it wrapped up with Mars getting their own Santa. I like how it all is fine. I like the little bits of allegory and political intrigue. I think it's fine for a kids movie. 5.1.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a 5.1.
Oh shit, baby, we're right on this one.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the worst thing ever.
No, it's not. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty poor in some parts, but it's 1964. I think what it did was actually pretty good. They had some good
20
stuff.
years before Van Halen's their big album came out, I'll say.
Yeah. And like, honestly, some things might look a little bad, but for its time and for the target audience of being a sci-fi Christmas movie targeted towards kids, wasn't that bad. The acting was actually pretty darn good.
It was solid. I liked Kimar and Voldar, both were pretty good.
Good protagonist, good antagonist. There was some good writing and jokes. The acting was pretty good.
Yeah, I followed along. It was fine. What are you talking about, people?
No giant holes in it. And I mean, you could look back and be like, oh my God, these aliens look terrible. They've got hoses coming out of their heads. And why is he going to Mars? But
I mean, they were pros, right? This was like, we've seen a lot of movies where they were not professionals making crap.
Mm-hmm.
This might have been not great, but that's a product of professionals and craftspeople.
Yeah. For its time and for its budget and for their target audience and all of the above, they made a run-of-the-mill holiday film.
Jump off the dog pile.
Yeah. So, 51 average for a 5.1 and a 5.1.
Being a 102 divided by 2.
It's going to be a 5.1 for some holiday hose.
We're right on. So I win.
You won. Big time. That's a winnie.
I get a winnie.
You get a winnie, which puts you into the drawing for a moopie.
Okay. Raffle style this time.
Yeah. Enough winnies and you could win a moopie.
I would be honored.
Exchange 10,000 winnies and you get a chance.
Okay, I'm on my way there.
I don't have any critic reviews either, so I've got just 1, 2, 3, 4, only 6 users this time.
Oh, you're letting us off easy. Do we have Songbird?
We have Songbird first
Do
up.
we have Snoopy?
Second up.
Okay, that's all I'm going to speculate on.
Take one more guess.
Who likes this fucking shit? Cost Mask.
No Cost
Yeah,
Mask.
he's an
a
idiot
good guess.
anyways. I'm glad he's not here.
Songbird on March 1st, 2011 said, I wouldn't put among the worst of the worst, but to be honest, Santa Claus Conquers the Martian is not a good movie in my view. However, it's definitely worth seeing to see how bad it is. I do think the film starts off well. The first 20 minutes are refreshing and entertaining. After that, it's a different story, and although it is a mess, it is not hard to be entertained by it. 3 out of 10.
Yeah, a little harsher than we were, but I think in the same spirit,
Yeah.
she may have been looking at the similar challenge and said, "What? You guys are kind of being mean,
You don't need to be mean to a little.
especially on Christmas time." Yeah,
Yeah, fuck you guys. Don't be mean around Christmas.
Mystery Science Theater. Yeah,
I remember I didn't know what Mystery Science Theater was when I started this podcast.
yeah,
And I remember we did like a Facebook promotional ad, like I paid to have it
Yeah.
out a little bit, like $20 over
yeah,
a week or so. And some people were like, "Oh, this could be good." Like they
yeah.
gave it a response. One person was like, "The fuck is this? Are you putting on my goddamn page? I will report your guys' ass." They reported us for like child
That's
nudity.
right. Yeah.
But he was like, "You're just ripping off MST3K," and I was like, "I have no clue what this is."
We're just doing a podcast, sir.
I was born after that, so
Yeah, I think I've seen an episode once, maybe.
but we
Interesting
got
stuff.
reported for child nudity,
Well, we shouldn't have done that.
and I didn't, and I was like, please don't report us for this. It's not true.
Yeah, don't do that.
Next is by Snoopy Style.
Snoop himself. I bet he gives it a 1.
December 25th, 2022, Christmas Day.
For him.
He says, from the low rating, I'm not sure that people are watching this with the right frame of mind. I really like the first half. I like the alien designs. It's camp and it knows it. Come on, people. It has a robot. The second half is more of a mess. I'm not following all of it. I want Santa to do more, but I guess he can't Rambo up the Martians. No matter what, can't beat the title. 6 out of 10.
Okay, right in line with us. He's very smart.
Smart dude. What if Snoopy Style was Robert this whole time?
He could be. Robert, our best film critic.
We've been joking that it's Seth all along, but it's actually Robert.
It's Robert.
Next, Liafwine Draka.
Okay, we've done him before.
We do him.
Occasionally, yes.
December 26th, 2016.
Wow.
Day after Christmas.
Family time.
The only reason this is regarded as one of the worst films ever made is because it was featured on various spoof shows, such as Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Riff Tracks. I don't know why they were in all caps, but watching it free of all that nonsense, it's certainly nowhere near the bottom. It's a cheap and trashy film, just the way we like them. It's worth remembering that this story is aimed at kids and kids alone. Kids who won't be worried by the cardboard scenery and the ham acting. The storyline is fast-paced, even though it doesn't make much sense. The laws of physics don't seem to apply in the film's universe. The characters are larger than life, and the children invariably annoying, but I thought the Martians themselves were a hoot, what with their rubbery costumes and boot-polished smeared faces. The exaggerated line delivery is a lot of fun, too. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is a bad film, but crucially, it's a fun one, too, and certainly never boring. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I think so. I think an important note is I was never put off by the poor production quality. I just let the story go.
And it wasn't it wasn't a poor production quality that I was laughing at either. Like when we first watched Birdemic and you see it, you're like,
and the cuts and the audio. No, like I said, they're pros. It might be cheaply done, but this professionally done.
Cheaply but professionally.
Yeah.
Gobnard. 5.1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Next, Lee Eisenberg.
Part of The Office.
Reviewer on IMDb as well.
Out of our faves.
February 5th, 2006, back when he was writing on The Office.
Prime time.
He says, if you're willing to accept Santa Claus Conquers the Martians as a ridiculous kids movie, then maybe we can give it more than a 1 out of 10. Otherwise, it's a real stinker. The plot, or whatever it is, has Martians kidnapping St. Nick and 2 Earth children and taking them back to the Red Planet to entertain their own children. Then again, the schlock that Hollywood produces today isn't much better. 1 out of 10.
Oh, so we ended there. Okay. I think that's fine. I think
But he doesn't like
acknowledges-
today's films.
Yeah, and he acknowledges the audience and everything. That's fine.
Ooh, we talked about this a little bit. You think Red Planet has anything to do with communism as well?
It might actually. You're right. He's
Red
looking for an allegory to
Mars.
place it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're factory workers.
That'd be bad. The wheels are turning a little bit.
Turn them.
That's about all I had. If they'd stop.
Okay, that's okay.
Next, by Christmas Reviewer.
Not a returnee.
No. And not written on Christmas. On November 30th, 2016, they say, beware of false reviews and reviewers. Some reviewers have only one review to their name. Now, when it's a positive review, that tells me they were involved with the movie. If it's a negative review, then they might have a grudge against the film. Now, I have reviewed over 200 holiday films. I have no agenda.
He's impartial.
I am honest. Growing up in Oxnard, California, this film always played on KTTV Channel 11 around Christmas time. It later moved to the KTLA Channel 5, and Pia Zadora even did a fireside chat with the television movie host Tom Hatton. Now, if you're an adult and you have never seen this, you will think this movie is terrible. Children who still believe in Santa will be entertained. It's harmless fun. The film's low budget is all too apparent here. However, if this film did have a bigger budget, then it might not have the weird charm. I beg all of you to watch this film. Having a viewing party. It is a film that many people have seen and actually are afraid to admit that they enjoy it. 10 out of 10.
Okay, wow. And that's an impartial reviewer, mind you.
Yeah.
He doesn't hate the film. He wasn't involved with the film, as he states.
This person
200+
from
reviews.
This person from Oxnard, California, has reviewed over 200 holiday
Maybe
films.
it's Anderson .Paak.
So it could be, yeah.
Yeah.
He's drumming. Just, I don't stand a chance. And then type.
That's how he would work. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're wondering what a Christmas film you should watch, if it's good or bad, look up Christmas Review on IMDb.
Can't get better than this. Yeah.
See if they've done it, and then if they have, that'll let you know.
Seems like the expert.
And my last one today is by Lambie Pie 2.
That's me.
Nice. Not a returner, though. July 2nd, 2003. You said, sorry.
Yeah.
For years, I thought this film was produced in Japan by the same folks who did Godzilla in the 60s. For years, every Christmas, I asked Santa Claus to destroy this film and keep independent hometown channels for showing it. That's when I realized there wasn't a Santa Claus.
Spoilers.
Take it from me. There is nothing nostalgic about seeing this film years later if you're of the generation that had to be put through this on TV like I was. Save your children. Don't show them this unless you want to punish them. But, come to think of it, maybe them watching this film is actually better punishment instead of putting them in a corner for timeout. 1 out of 10.
Polar opposite of a guy of a similar generation right before him.
Why did they think that this was by the Japanese company that did Godzilla? What the fuck? Where did that come from?
But polar opposites, we landed squarely in the middle, I think, my friend.
But do we recommend it?
I think I had a good time. I think there's a dearth of Christmas movies
that
are enjoyable to watch with your family or otherwise. I think this could make the staple. I think knowing like we got a fun one coming up, kids. Let's see some goof. It's worth it. I recommend.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think I watched it by myself. An hour and 20-minute runtime. Told some of my coworkers to watch it.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
We've all had
drag.
A decent time watching it. I didn't hate myself. I didn't hate the film. Obviously, you might. It's not great. You're not going to like come away like really glowing and thinking about everything. It's not going to open your mind. But if you want to show your kids or you want to watch something kind of stupid, sure, go with Santa Claus
fine.
Conquers the Martians.
Conquer the Martians.
And that is going to end it this week.
Without Seth, we somehow survived.
We usually do.
We did for a long time. We did, me and you.
And next week we've got a film. Jingle All the Way.
Oh wow! I have not seen one of.
You haven't seen, huh?
I don't. This might be like an insane thing. I don't think I've ever seen an Arnie movie.
Have you not seen Terminator?
Correct, I've not.
You haven't seen What?
I don't think I've ever seen an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Kindergarten Cop?
Nope.
Predators?
Nope.
Running Man? The Expendables? There's Arnie.
I've seen the first Expendables. Well, he's not really like a star. Isn't he like the antagonist in that one?
He's only in it for a little bit, yeah.
I guess that counts. But I haven't seen True Lies. I haven't seen Last Action Hero. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
So I'm excited. I'll see his screen persona.
I don't think he's amazing by any means, and his accent is always just like overpowering.
Yeah, but he's a figure. He's a big guy.
But I highly recommend Terminator, and Terminator 2 is better than the first. Those two are classics.
I know, that's on my list.
Ending it for the holiday hose. We might try and see if we can get a co-host or a guest or something next week. Maybe it's
something together.
Maybe it's Devin. I know Carter might have been interested in coming back for a Christmas
Robert
one.
said he was available.
Robert said he's always available.
Alex,
Alex, yeah, we said that she needed to be on for Jingle All the Way, so maybe it's Alex.
Maybe. Good idea.
And you can watch Schwartzy together.
Until then,
we'll bid you skada badoosh.
Check in on your loved ones. It's a tough time of year.
A gadoosh and gadoosh and make sure your loved ones are okay. Yeah, you're right. Shit. We should say that more often.
Holidays, yeah. Send a text, an email, a call. And gadoosh.
Send a voice message on Anchor to your loved ones.
Says gadoosh. Yeah.
Gadoosh.
Nice.
Bada boom.
Once again, we saved the ship.
Conquers.
How come it's taken so? Oh, there we go.
So I have been compiling a list. I think I sent it to you guys of how many episodes we've all been on.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
TGTBTM episodes. This is through Uncle Boon Me, so not through Jack Frost. So then we add another one to Seth. We add another one.
Or we don't add one for Seth.
Well, this is adding Jack Frost.
Oh.
And now this week, and then me. This was your 100th episode as a co-host.
Oh, we didn't even say it, dang. Total or co-host?
Co-host.
How many total? So 102?
100 and, well, also if you count spin-off series, you've been on 146 episodes.
Damn, that's insane.
You're 146. Seth is 80. Devin is 43. I am 177.
And who's next out of the?
Marina is next at 9, and then Alex at 7.
Dang, Marina and Alex have been on 9 7 times. That's crazy.
Because they've both hosted 2 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Marina's been a guest on 6. Alex has been a guest on 5. And then Marina once hopped on a Santa Claus's.
With Seth?
With me and Seth. And then it's Kelly with 4, Carter with 3, and Robert with 2.
Yeah.
Our only returning guests. And then otherwise you've got Liz. You have Eric when he was on. Charlie. Peyton, Seth's sister. James. Aaron. For Alien, we had Mitch, Regan, Seth's other sister, and then Jordan.
Maybe a little SNL little thing going on here.
Conquers the Martians. Nice. That is updated. Good work. All in a day's work.
We got this.
You and I need to, since Seth's not going to be here, figure out what we want to do for a themed month in April. I was switching around some things on the schedule. Tell me what you think of what I have so far.
Okay.
Okay. Starting off, so it looks like our recording date for the bracket is it's Christmas Eve. So sometime around there. We don't have to do it on Christmas Eve. And then we've got Howard the Duck.
Cool.
You've got Skyscraper, the rock one. You've got the Will Ferrell musical comedy Eurovision.
Okay.
You've got Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death finishing off that month.
Okay.
And then for rom-com month, I was trying to find some. I threw in 50 First Dates as the third one because we've always said we might do that. I thought of one that could be really good that you're going to hate, but it's going to leave a great conversation for.
Yeah.
And it's the 2007 Heartbreak Kid.
Oh, sure. We could do that. That's fine.
Because, I mean, we could bring up Elaine May all day long with that, which would be great conversation.
We could do them in tandem.
Ooh. Then I picked one that I found called Marcy X.
Okay.
It's got Lisa Kudrow and Damon Wayans as the two leads. It's a Jewish American princess is forced to take control of a hardcore hip-hop record label and tries to reign one of the label's most controversial rappers, but it's a rom-com.
That sounds good. Yeah, I like
that. And then for the masterpiece, I put two initially down that we can discuss. I put Clueless. So many people like Clueless.
Okay.
And I put Groundhog Day.
Okay.
And then the last four that I have before an April themed month that I don't have: Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong.
You remember the Evil Bong movies?
The 1960s or whatever it is, The Tempest.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
A Neil Breen movie, if you know anything about Neil Breen, called Double Down.
Okay. We should do Neil Breen.
Then Doll Man versus the Demonic Toys.
That's a good month.
And then a new themed month for April, which I don't have anything down, but other potential ones that I had that were maybe going to premiere in this month. I thought about Premium Rush, that Joseph Gordon-Levitt Bike Messenger one.
Mm-hmm.
There's G-Force.
Hell yeah.
There's Dougal.
We should do an animal month.
Animal themed month. What do you think is the masterpiece of animals? Ratatouille?
Maybe Ratatouille, yeah. Or there's probably some good animal movies.
What would we call ourselves? The Pet Pals?
Something like that, yeah.
And then what would my noises be that I would play? Just a stable of a dog.
Zoo sounds. Zoo sounds, yeah.
The Pet Pals.
I like a pet themed month.
I originally had I have Pet Pals in here actually. The two things that I had were the Western Wankers or the Pet Pals.
Yeah, let's do Pet Pals. We could do Westerns in the summer.
So we could do G-Force and Dougal.
Maybe Ratatouille, maybe some other stuff.
I'll do Dougal first. I'll do G-Force as the third installment. We can figure out what we want for our masterpiece. Yeah, Shaggy Dog or I'll ask Marina because she fucking loves all these pet themed movies.
Hotel for Dogs.
Yeah, and then we'll come up with a master. It might be Ratatouille.
But he's not really a pet. Well.
Oh, you're right. He's just an animal. Just a fucking monster.
The worker. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Word.
All right. Good work tonight.
Good to me. Podcast on, my brother.
You podcast on, brother.